haters, I left them for the work. Keep the gospel that I preach. Welcome to the church.
5 things you're probably doing wrong with Damian. I think the biggest thing comes wrong with Damian is probably the first one that I could think of. The thing that people are doing wrong with Damian off the bat is right here. Comes down to what, baby? Shahrukhs. All right, Shahrukhs. A lot of times people do not use the Shahrukhs. Understand, Shahrukhs are slow. You get a slow. All right, you get 3 of these times 3. So let me show you times 3. So you should be comboing with your Shahrukhs, okay? A lot of times people use Shahrukhs as finishers. You should be comboing with them because when someone gets comboed, they should not be able to get up and just walk away. All right, so you want to make sure you're slowing your opponent down so they don't get up and just walk away. So make sure you are hitting them with Shahrukhs, applying the Shahrukh debuff, the slow effect to them, so you're able to get to your targets and chase them down. You want to constantly be able to harass. Healers, you have no reason why healers shouldn't be getting away from you when you can slow them down at any given time just by pressing a button. So make sure you're landing your Shahrukhs during your combos, and as long as you do that, then that's going to help you out a lot better. All right, so number 2, probably next thing, number 2, a lot of people don't realize with Damian is Damian does a lot of damage. And what I mean by that is somebody's like, oh man, you know, Damian, yeah, he does a lot of damage, but I play him like an assassin. All right, let me tell you this. Damian is more than an assassin. Damian can box with anybody in a ring. Yes, he doesn't have 800 health like Nid. That's only 200 less because he does have 600 health. So he can box in fights and then stuff, but you gotta be smart. You gotta initiate and stuff like that. You can't take a burst amount of damage, but you gotta be smart on what damage you're going to take, what damage you're going to receive, and which makes it have to focus down to prioritizing targets. So when it comes to a lot of damage is there when you I don't know how I'm gonna spell this right, prioritize your targets. Okay, I probably spelled that wrong. All right, so anyways, when you prioritize your targets, that's where your damage is going to kick into effect. Okay, healers should be harassed by you every single time they come on the field. So first things first, healers. All right, healers, focus on healers first. Then the second thing up is range. You hate range. Why? Because guess what? You don't have anything to shield you from range. So next thing you should be focusing is range. Healers, range. Healers, range. Healers, range. And then you can get the little melee DPS after that. All right, cool. So prioritizing target, he has a lot of damage. Stop running around with Damian thinking you're a ninja. You ain't no ninja. Ain't nobody gave you the cloak. All right, thank you. Number 3, use your shift strike for closers. And what I mean by that is a lot of times when you a target does get out of your reach and you can't get to them, I apply shift strike. I shift strike to them and I hit them with my X ability. The shift strike is going to allow me to close the distance, close that gap, to be able to get to my target if they're getting away. So I shift strike to them to be able to stick to them and constantly be on them and harass them. Okay, so make sure you're shift striking to close, or shift strike. You shift strike for AOE damage. A lot of times with Damian, since he's so focused on single target, he has no area of effect damage but sub shift strike. So if you don't know what shift strike is, basically he dashes forward and then he spins around like in a tornado. Okay, when he spins around, any targets that he's hit's going to take damage. Okay, so that's your only AOE damage that you can do to multiple targets. So you have to make sure you're thinking about your shift strike, because there's going to be times where you're in a team fight, you might want to apply damage to several people because they're really low health. You could dash in there, shift strike, and you'll probably kill like 2 or 3 of them. All right, so be smart about it. But a lot of times do your shift strike for your closing, if anything, and you can also use shift strike to escape as well. So let me put that in there as well, escape as well. All right, so number 4, another thing that people don't underestimate with Damian is probably your ability to be agile. All right, number one thing with Damian is your ability to stay agile, to be able to get on the move. Since you don't have to do a lot of evading with Damian as much if you know what you're doing, right? Because you get to choose your fights by how you engage your fights. How you initiate your fights is how your fight's going to usually go. But the understanding is he's very agile. So with him, he can able to jump to walls. So when you're chasing a 0 down, the 0 jumps to a high place, or you have Gizmo and she jumps to a high place, listen, you should be looking for a wall that you can wall jump on to be able to get to your target. Don't just stand around, look dumb, and try to run up a ramp. If you're running up ramps with Daemon, you're playing them wrong. Okay, stop running up ramps. Wall jump up to the top go get your target and stay on them and harass them, okay? So for the fifth one here, supers, man. I think out of everybody in the game, you have to really think about your supers when it comes to playing Damian. And what I mean by that is basically, depending on how your playstyle is, you have to think about your team comp. And what I mean by that is like you should be choosing your super based off your team comp, not based off of what you want to play with. Okay. So what I mean by that is like, say for instance, you have a good comp, you have a lot of people that can do AoE damage, then I might be like, you know what? I might not want to go with Shadow Strike, right? Or I have someone that can stun so I can get the Shadow Strike off how I want it to. I might want to go with Shadow Strike. So just trying to decide between if you go Shadow Strike or Death Mark. Now, say for instance, if they need you to focus down a healer super fast, then Death Mark is automatically your pick. If you guaranteed you can complete that job as far as getting down the healer and you want an extra damage, then you need to go for Death Mark. Okay. The other thing good about Death Mark is it doesn't have to always be used on healers, but the fact that Death Mark is in team fights where you need people killed as quickly as possible because they're putting out too much damage, using Death Mark allows you to get to your targets, boom, 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 get them killed really quick because they're out of position, and then move to the next target, kill him really quick, boom, 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 out of your position, and your team's already winning the team fight. So when you're picking your super, please think about your team. All right. If you don't have enough AoE damage, go with Shadow Strike. All right. What AoE damage stands for, area of effect. Okay. Large area of effect. So if you don't have a lot of area of effect damage, then you need to go with Shadow Strike. If you have a good amount of area of effect damage, then go with Death Mark and then boost your single target damage up. Okay. So that's 5 tips that you're probably doing wrong with Daemon if you're not using these or paying attention to these. And hopefully this helps you guys. All right.
All them haters, I left them for the work. Keep the gospel that I preach. Welcome to the church.